me prepare, let's sit here. I think I'm comfortable this way. Today I want to talk about ROI, return on investment. Whenever you are investing in real estate, what exactly do you look at? How do you know whether the price is exaggerated or is it within the margins of the market? Welcome to our today's episode. My name is Victor Anangwe. Now, for quite some time, we have been marketing properties and different aspects, maybe whether is it a plot, is it a home someone is releasing or selling, or is it properties, rental units, or an apartment that someone plans to sell. And we have been marketing, and for some time you will hear arguments or criticism whether the price is too high or too low. Of course, I will definitely tell you that under very few circumstances will you get clients telling you that this property is undervalued, but the majority would want it to be a bit lower than the price that has been put in the market. So what exactly do you look at before you buy a property if it was advertised? How do you know whether this property is worth the price or equivalent to what I'm looking for or not? Now, in most cases, in real estate, any investment that you buy is a long term. We need to agree about that. You cannot invest in real estate and imagine that you'll start reaping tomorrow. It's a bit tricky that way. Whether you are buying your own land to start developing it, maybe for commercial purposes or rental apartments, or whether you are buying property that already has clients and you need to start collecting rent the next month immediately. There is what we call return on investment, what we shorten or call it ROI. Now, those are the things that you need to calculate before you actually go into the deal. For the standard time for any property to give back is averagely 8 to 10 years. But if the property is lucrative enough for you and you like it, then you might extend it to maybe averagely by 2 years. Let's say maybe 12 years it should have given you back and you should start earning. So when do we actually say that the return on this investment or the property has started giving you the profit? A good example is here: you buy property. A property is worth 10 million. Let's say, assume it's an apartment or rental units, and the person is selling the rental units at average 10 million. So when you say that I have broken even, or you are breaking even this investment to start giving me returns, this is where a situation where you should be able to start earning from this property a minimum of 8 years and a maximum of 12 years. Then you start benefiting from it, so that you do not buy a property today and it's only your grandkids or your kids who will benefit from it. In that case, it will not benefit you, unless that is purely your purpose, that you want to buy for the kids or to buy for my grandkids. But everyone wants to enjoy the fruits of his sweat. That's why whenever you're buying property, you need to calculate at what point will I start reaping, will I start getting profit from this property or this investment. And of course, we're talking about real estate mostly. So if you're buying a property, let's say it's an apartment, you're buying at 10 million, your calculation should be that you are paying for this, if it's a loan, definitely. If you are paying for this property with the maximum of 10 years, then you should be able to start getting profit. So if it was a finance or a mortgage that you are paying, within 10 years you should be able to have cleared that mortgage, and the 11th year is now profit you are getting. Now the rent that will be paid the 11th year is the profit that you will be getting. So that money will now be coming direct to you and you are not paying any loan related to that property. If you are interested to be using that money to pay for something else or to acquire more properties, now that is a plus onto your side. However, the property should have given back its money and should have started giving you something on top as a profit. That's now what we refer to as return on investment. Now, anytime you are looking at a property is being sold and you are looking at its payment plan and you will need to recover after 25 years, then you need to think twice. That's not a property worth investing in that easily. Now, the easiest way to know if this property you're purchasing will have paid for itself within that time is simple. Let's say, for example, you have a property, let's say an apartment. It has 10 units. Each unit is going at 15,000. So averagely, you are getting 150,000 per month. Now, you need to calculate and say, if I'm getting this 150,000 per month, within 10 years, I should be able to have recovered all that money using this amount that comes from this property. So using this rent, I should be able to pay for that loan. Whether you are getting it from your payslip or anywhere else, but that amount should be able to be recovered from this property that you are buying, especially if it's a property that is commercial, that needs to be rented out so that it has some collection of income at the end of the month, more rent. Now, if it's a property that is just maybe a luxury home or whatever, it's just a home, let's say you bought a home at 6 million, the idea here is you should be able to pay that amount maybe before your retirement, so that you don't go into your retirement and then you are still using pension to pay for this mortgage. That's actually a very wrong calculated move. So whenever you are doing any real estate investment, you need to calculate, first of all, how long will I take to clear this loan. That's where you also need to be very keen on which entity are you getting the mortgage or getting the loan from. Is it a SACCO? Is it a bank? Is it a microfinance? Is it a credit SACCO? What are their interest rates? How clear are they on paper? Rather than waiting for you when the loan is not yet moving, you go to talk to them and then they will tell you, did you read this article? Did you read this article? They need to be very clear. You need to talk to institutions that are very clear on how you will be paying your loan back or your mortgage, so that you can easily calculate yourself even with a simple smartphone. You can easily say, I'll be finishing my loan in 2028 November. And if I've missed, I defaulted 2 months, I will just move those 2 months instead of November, it will be December or something like that. So, if there are any penalties, they are very clearly elaborated. Don't just buy property because it looks nice and then at the end of it all, it gets to frustrate you. You are wondering whether this thing will ever benefit you. Sometimes it's good to invest for the kids, but sometimes not everybody will appreciate actually your sweat. You will buy property, and when you transfer it to your kid, 3 or 4 years later, he will have sold and squandered the money when you are still alive actually. That's the most painful thing that you will ever realize. And then you will be like, why was I even saving for them? So save something that will benefit you, yourself first. Then from there, the kids will also just benefit from it. Through maybe inheritance or through when you give up, you say, I'm no longer now interested to run this property in Kakamega. Now so and so, you'll go and take over that property and manage it. That's how they will benefit. But you cannot buy something purely so that you service until you are old age, you get tired, and so by the time you get tired is when now you start reaping, and then your kids come and then they take it and take over. It's more that you are handing over property without the happiness that it deserves, with a lot of regrets. So you need to have property that you will enjoy. Now that's why we are offering so many of our plots, our properties at a very cheaper price so that you can afford. Many circles today, they can lend you money, and we're actually mostly targeting these young people where circles can give you up to 3 to 5 times what you are actually saving. That's why we encourage many people to go for these circles. We have housing circles like Cusco and Stima Circle, Police Circle, and so many other circles that are actually in existence. And if you save with those circles, they will actually give you some amount 3 times what you have saved. So if we are marketing a property, let's say 400,000, a SACCO can manage to give you up to 350,000 if you saved a paltry 100 or 150,000 shillings. That is 3 times. Then you can secure that property. You can either pay for that property entirely or pay 300, whatever remaining like 100k. We shall give you some 6 months to maybe clear it systematically or gradually. That's how where you get the money. Some people have been asking, where do I get money? I wish I am praying to my God. Yes, you pray to your God, but you read books, you listen to financial tips, you look for where people are getting money. Interact with people who are buying properties, ask them, how are you buying properties? You cannot just wish that I will ever wish, I will ever wish. You must walk out of your shell, out of your comfort zone for you to be able to acquire these properties. Sometimes we sell properties from clients who are actually either relocating, maybe they lived in town for quite some time, they now want to move to a bigger space, maybe they want to go to do agriculture, others want to retire and now go into the villages. So that's when they sell. If they had bought a house, they had bought a plot, maybe a quarter plot around town, and they had constructed a 3-bedroom house, that's when you will see us advertising those kind of houses. Sometimes the prices could be a bit high, but what we believe is that most clients are able to negotiate. They allow negotiation. So prices we have what we call asking price. Asking price is never the last price, and asking price is what most people will tell you that it is a price ya broker. They say ya broker. But in the real sense, actually, it's usually the owner who has given that price. But it's usually negotiable. So that's the best way that you can always invest. Thank you. I'm Victor and